to you rightfully. And that's all the accumulated wealth over the ages, man. All that our foreparents left us. Okay, that's yours, that Golden Gate Bridge, that Empire State Building. That's yours. That's yours, my friends. All the infrastructure, it's yours. Am I a bad person to say that? That's biblical, man. You say you're Christians, that's what you got to understand. We need to understand the difference between owning stuff and renting stuff. They've all got us under, they're mesmerized us under a spell to not understand this simple stuff. We're all in Babylon to some degree. It's crazy, man. Money would be far more aptly described and defined as the single most powerful medium to fulfill a depraved, insatiable individual's lust for power, control, and possessions, than as a means to facilitate exchange. Yeah, what a freaking lie from the pit of hell, to facilitate exchange. Now you don't have to buy the whole cow. Now you can just buy a tenth of a cow. That makes sense to you, doesn't it? Anybody that would suggest otherwise doesn't understand progress. Facilitate exchange, my behind. Bartering would be one whole hell of a lot more fair. In my opinion, each one of us should be afforded the inalienable right, the freedom to change how we serve humanity. That is, our jobs and careers. With the same frequency, we change our underwear. Will so-called conservatives allow their anti-liberal bent mixed with false pride keep our social, political, and economic problems to be permanently solved? Keep from being permanently solved. Not true conservatives, they get it. They understand that a stitch in time and fair play are the answer. Absolute universal freedom through utter prosperity is the name of the game. It's the only answer, friends. That's it, man. How else are you going to set the captives free? We got to be set free from the power of Satan. And the power is in the money. When people feel the desire or possibly need to announce their name, they should say, my parents named me such and such. Unless, of course, they use a pseudonym or rename themselves, or use a nickname. Not disclosing such information makes disclosing their name, their birth name, strange. But I do not, because I have been trained thusly. Always remember Shakespeare. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. You know, in chapter 17 of Revelation, I believe it is, in chapter 17, verse 2, I think it is, or 3, or something like that. But it talks about how we're all going to get a new name. So my point is that sometimes I get so annoyed with people, like, so, my name is this. And it's like, wow, well, so, I mean, so a million people are named that name, and what is it? What's in a name? You know what I mean? Or, we should just say, well, my parents named me this, okay, because you can change your name anytime you want, right? Legally, you can do that. You can use a pseudonym, a nickname, whatever. So, I like to, think of what Shakespeare said, that, rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So it doesn't matter. You can name yourself whatever you want, okay? But, a lot of us, to honor our parents, we keep our birth name. I never liked my name, so I use it rarely. I don't care. I mean, who am I? I don't need my name bandied about. I really want. I'm repelled by the idea of being famous. Not that I have anything to be famous for, but, I just want to share stuff. I want to be a good brother, a good friend to humanity. So, to that degree, I just hope that I can benefit humanity to some extent. That's it. And if I do, I'm a success. And that I'll be found worthy and deserving of going to a better world from here. That's why I do what I do. So what's in a name? I mean, chapter 2, verse 17, what is it? Chapter 2, verse 17 in Revelation. But it talks about all those that are found worthy of inheriting this kingdom of heaven, which is going to be established on earth, are going to receive a new name, this white stone, and a new name that's known only to God and them. It's interesting. It's just intriguing stuff, this business of names, And I've often, what name will God give me? But, one of them certainly will be stubborn, because I've definitely got that quality. I don't know if it has anything to do with being born under the sign of the bull or not. But I'm a stubborn SOB, I can tell you that much. When people feel, oh, no, I went through that already. I think that if God could convey one message through me, it would be, I beg you to stop listening to the evil one, the enemy of our collective and individual souls, and stop devouring one another. That's right. That's this whole division thing where it's too late, man. It's a rat race, dog eat dog, survival of the strongest, social Darwinism. And if it means you got to perish so that myself and my family survive, I mean, that's it. That's the spirit. And I think God hates that spirit. And we have a propensity to abandon conscience for survival. And that's something that we really got to watch our step about, really make sure that we would very deliberately say, no, God, you've got to, mold me into your image and likeness, the way you want me to have my opinions, my belief systems, my credos, my philosophies, stuff I'll die and kill for. I want to be right with you above all else. I wonder, could the reason so many people wind up with dementia of some sort be because they are forgetting that they need to turn to God for their help to remember? I think it could be. And I could think it could be a vitamin deficiency too for a lot of people, especially B complex and this mental illness and stuff. Adam Smith, likely the world's greatest economist, stated things in his book like The Wealth of Nations that trigger our ancient memories, what our forebears went through historically and even instinctual intelligence. These things are precepts based upon logic, reason, and common sense. His ideas can be grasped and conveyed by any thinking human being in a natural way that we then own as our own, an integral part of our own belief systems as precious knowledge of economic theory and truth. Yeah, man, it's good stuff. He was a good guy. Anytime anyone brings up socialism or capitalism, Democrat or Republican, conservative or liberal, they have perhaps even likely inadvertently brought up an economic discussion, but don't want to discuss economics relative to simply how we define overall progress for the entire society, and conversely, what is regress for the whole society. We have been well trained to accept a hopelessly splintered, divided, and fractured human civilization paradigm. Only God can help us find our way out. When it comes to those who profess to be fighting the good fight, one identifying clue that they are fighting the correct good fight is that invariably they are all idealistic and egalitarian, as is our Creator, our owner, our parents. Regarding evil in this world, upon this planet, remember that God always maintains the power to utterly destroy evil and all those powers which embody satanic precepts. However, he chooses to allow a degree of dominion, of territory, of turf to Lucifer, to Satan, and his witting and unwitting followers. God's ways and his methods are nearly beyond our ability to comprehend. As humans, we just don't grasp the degree of his all-consuming goodness, his desire for all beings being only good, much unlike a typical human. The trick is to acknowledge the spirit and powers of evil forces, but also relentlessly remind them of who's boss, God, through Jesus Christ. Is it at all radical or even remotely unreasonable to suggest that America ought to take care of our own citizenry, native-born Americans, our very sons and daughters whom are suffering in destitute financial situations prior to even considering allowing any immigration from anywhere involving destitute people? All caught up. I love everybody, and I wish you the best. All the things I want for my friends, family,